Before we get to the main content of today's video, this is just a reminder of how good Hunter is at the moment. This is Duwin and EK's Secrets Hunter with Azalina and Sylvanas. And it is especially good at stealing big threats from Big Priest, from Warlock. I featured this deck recently on my channel and it continues to be very effective. So if you have the cards, consider playing this deck, and I'm sure EK and Duwin will help answer any questions. One of the reasons the deck is effective is no one else is playing it, so no one expects it. And with Sylvanas and with the Zombie Beast Discover, you can get, and as I often seem to get, when I have Sylvanas on the board, I get the Princess as one of my beasts, and of course then you can trigger the Death Rattle of Sylvanas and steal more stuff. It's pretty awesome. Unfortunately he concedes and he doesn't let me steal his healing totem. That's unfortunate. But yeah, just a little showcase of how good that deck can be. But today's video is going to be featuring me playing Mecha'thun Warlock. So I was struggling to get through rank 1, I kept getting knocked back to rank 2, then back to rank 1 again, but couldn't get through rank 1 to hit legend, and so I decided to play Mecha'thun Warlock. And this is the deck that I played, which took me to legend. I did a little bit of research, did a bit of reading around, considering my lack of knowledge of how to play Mecha'thun Warlock, because I don't play it very often. There were a couple of other decks that I found, which you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. One of them plays Reno Mage, which can be massively relevant if you're facing an aggro deck and your face is being smashed, and assuming that the remainder of your deck only has single copies of cards left, then Reno can just save you when you need saving. The Reno deck also features Galvanizer, which you can use to discount Mecha'thun. The other deck on the right features Mal'Ganis and Doom. Now that's a pretty insane card. I mean, yes, you want card draw in this deck, but I can just see a situation with Doom where you'd overdraw massively, especially if the board is full when you play it. Anyway, those are two other decks that could be of interest, and I'm sure they work. Just, you know, they'll have their own specific play style. The deck on the left is the deck that I was able to take to legend. I won 4 games in a row with this deck, which took me to legend. Which is unbelievable, because considering my lack of experience with playing Mecha'thun, how the hell did I win 4 in a row? I don't know. And so you'll probably see some misplays in this video, some sub-optimal plays, but all that matters is that I was able to win, and I was able to progress, finally, this season to legend. How does the deck work? Very, very simple. You need to survive until you get to your Mecha'thun combo. Get the Emperor discount on Mecha'thun, get the Emperor discount on Blood Bloom, play Blood Bloom, followed by Mecha'thun, followed by Cataclysm. Ensure that there are no other cards left in your deck when you do it. So we're going to look at our first game now of this deck in action, taking me to legend.
Versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Okay, we're starting out against a mage. Now, I like the Mistress, and I think I'm going to keep Hemet. It seems reasonable, right? It seems reasonable, because he'll destroy any cards in the deck that cost 3 or less, and providing you've got a copy of Blood Bloom in your hand, then it's fine to destroy the other copy. And playing Hemet as soon as you can is relevant if you're going up against a combo deck, because you're on a clock, right? This is a quest mage, so it could be Exodia, or it could just be a Giants mage with Flame Wakers, looks to complete the quest after putting Giants down on the board and then just smashes your face for ridiculous amounts of damage. So in some ways it's a bit of a race. He's racing to complete the quest. He's also racing to draw cards. and I'm racing to draw cards and complete my Mecha'thun combo. So we have the coin, and I'm thinking that since we don't have a demon in hand, it'd be better to coin out the Corpse Taker.
Winter is here.
The healing is nice. Divine Shield Taunt is also pretty nice. Although, at this point in the game our health total doesn't really matter, so we're not going to really benefit much from the healing. But he may have a crazy Flame Waker turn. But to do that, he needs to draw cards, which he's doing now. But he's drawing me cards too. And seeing the Emperor is great. We just need to get Mecha'thun in our hand. And then we're set to go off with the Emperor. But before that happens, we will probably play Hemet. So he's stalling out this game as much as possible. Trying to complete that quest. Could play the second Kobold Librarian, but I think to be mana efficient, maybe we just play both of our 2-drops here. Just get stuff on the board. And actually put him on a little bit of pressure. Strangely, this deck can win games just with board pressure. With the Corpse Takers, with Void Callers bringing down Void Lords, with Gul'dan then being played. You can actually put out substantial pressure if you get the right draws in order. And let's not underestimate Hemet here. Hemet is a 6/6. That's going to whack face for 6 every turn. That's pretty significant in itself. Okay. There's a Void Lord. So we could just kill off our own Void Caller. I think this is a smart play. And this pressure is pretty intense. He would probably need a Doomsayer here, a Frostnova Doomsayer, to get himself back in the game. Or Blizzard Doomsayer? No Doomsayer. Okay. So we're looking for Mecha'thun now.
Winter is here.
Not found him yet. But with the way this game is going, we may not even need Mecha'thun. The flexibility with this deck is quite impressive. You can be aggressive, or you can play very defensively.
I wonder.
Right, there's one giant. There's another giant. Echo, sure. Play them all again. But then what? So, how scared do I need to be of these giants? This is the question. He's committed 2 giants and an echo. That's a massive resource commit. I think what I'm trying to figure out now is whether I can pop the block and clear the board at the same time. And I believe, through the power of Lord Godfrey, that should be possible. fancy that. We actually get to keep those Voidwalkers on the board. And we tap last because we're good at this game. And there's Mecha'thun. There's Mecha'thun. So next turn, we can play the Emperor. And he's trying to fatigue me here. What is he looking for? Oh, okay. He didn't find the ice block, the second copy of, which basically means he's doomed. And so it turns out I was right. We didn't need Mecha'thun in this game.
Impressive.
Just board pressure alone was enough to win the game. Feels good.
You asked for it.
You face Mecha'thun.
Okay, heading into our next game. We're going up against the same opponent, the same mage that we faced in the earlier game. And the reason for that is because I've queued straight into this next game. Now, that strategy has its advantages. There are fewer people playing wild mode, so if you queue up straight away, you're likely to face the same person again. It has its advantages because, assuming that they haven't changed their deck or queued up a different mage deck, I know what to expect. The disadvantage, of course, is that he knows what I'm playing and he knows what to expect from me. But we've just got Hemet in our hand and...
An incredible discovery.
Ooh, Arcanologist. We didn't see Arcanologist in that previous game, I don't think. Or at least, I don't think we saw Arcanologist in that previous game.
This might sting.
But I have a bad memory. Okay, we have Hemet. We just need to draw a copy of Bloodbloom, and we can go off with Hemet. He hasn't played the quest.
Winter is
That means he's changed decks. How interesting. Okay. So maybe he's now playing a deck that he thinks is well teched against my deck? So there's no quest.
winter is here.
So we're just aiming to play out our hand here. To see if we can go via the pressure route again like before. In that previous game, we didn't need Mecha'thun. That's that flame cannon. It's so good for him. Oh look, there's Mecha'thun. And there's a Bloodbloom. Okay, we're now in business. So next turn we can play Hemet, and then just need to draw the Emperor really, and we're probably going to win the game. Okay. Don't really care what the secrets are now.
This might sting.
Well, actually, we do care. If he has a counter spell up, we could be in trouble. Ooh. He plays the Emperor too. Okay, how interesting.
From the void, I come.
So what is he playing? Is this some kind of freeze mage? No. That was duplicate. Okay. Frostlich Jaina. Okay.
Those who wield it.
Have we seen any duplicate cards yet? Is this a Reno Mage? This must be a Reno Mage. And if that's the case, we're still going to win. His deck is not going to be able to do enough damage to kill me before I pull off my combo. Surely. Okay. Yeah, this is Reno Mage. There's a Bran.
Death approaches its end. To the void.
How much do we care about the Emperor? I think we still care, right?
This might
Because we don't want to do anything stupid that's going to cost us this game. We just need to stall. We just need to stall until we get our Emperor. And we're very close. If he's playing a Reno deck, what scares us potentially is Dirty Rat, which could bring out Mecha'thun, and then we're screwed. But then again, Dirty Rat could bring out Godfrey, it could bring out Void Lord. And there he is, the last card in the deck. Okay. So we will need to oh, okay. Fine. Fine. Didn't need Mecha'thun again. Wow. Okay, so we queue up again very quickly, and our opponent is a Warlock. Our mage opponent, well, he disappeared. I was almost hoping that we'd face him again, but we'll take this Warlock opponent on. His name is Pineapple, which is pretty cool. I have a friend who plays Hearthstone. His name is I Like Cabbage. Food-themed names are always fun. They make me hungry. Oh well. So, Warlock. Could be anything. Reno Lock, Cube Lock, Zoo Lock. Still could be anything. Purple Librarian is played in quite a few different decks. Ankle Biter in this deck is a very good Defile activator. I think sometimes people miss that. You may stare at a big board from an opponent and think, God, there isn't a minion on the board with 1 health. How do I start to trigger? Oh dear. And we're back. How do I start to trigger Defile? And often, you may miss the fact that you have an Ankle Biter in your hand or a Librarian with 1 health that can start the Defile process for you after it's been played. This hand, well, we've got Bloodbloom at least, we've got the Emperor, that's something. We have a Void Caller and the Sacrificial Pact, but no Void Lord. And Wax Elemental, oh dear. That means we're facing another Mecha'thun Lock. This is a mirror match. Except the composition of his deck is going to be slightly different to mine.
Let the pain
Acolyte of Pain. Wow. So this really is a race to draw cards. And in my case, a race to find Hemet. If I can get Hemet, I probably win this game. Right? That's my assumption here. If I don't get Hemet, I think I'm going to struggle. I think his deck has more card draw than mine. So I suspect that he's going to be able to cycle through his deck a little bit quicker. But maybe I can overdraw him here. Is that even worth it? I think so. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe he'll mill Mecha'thun or mill part of his combo. Oh, that's actually promising. That is actually promising. Milling a Bloodbloom. The problem is he's probably got a second copy, right? I mean, are there any Mecha'thun decks that play Bloodbloom with just 1 copy? Or would you always include 2?
Winter is here.
Yeah, Corpse Taker. I play that card. Okay, interesting.
well played.
Not sure what he's thinking about here. Okay. So,
Winter
tap last,
is here.
which I need to stop doing. I keep doing that. I have a feeling this Void Lord is going to be somewhat inconsequential as this game goes on. Yeah. This game is certainly not going to be about board pressure. Because we've both got access to board clears. This will be all about card draw Mecha'thun. And I have my Mecha'thun, so I'm happy.
The end is coming!
Oh, the end is coming. Okay. That's fine. Oh look, there's Hemet. That's really good. I'm happy to commit here with Hemet.
This might sting.
Okay, so now we just need to draw Cataclysm. Just get the Emperor discount on Bloodbloom and Mecha'thun. Yeah, we're very nearly there. So it looks like we're going to win this race.
Let the pain speak to me.
Although he's still fighting here. Acolyte of Pain, drawing more cards. Wow. This is actually pretty close. This is actually pretty close. See if I can mill him here. I mean, this may be a bad play. Because I really don't want to give him cards. Okay, he's just lost to Galvanize, so that's good. But I'm assuming he runs a second copy. Or maybe not. I don't know. How interesting. Okay, so maybe the mill strategy in that previous game played off. We milled a Galvanizer, we milled a Bloodbloom. So the same Warlock again, and this is the deciding game for Legend. He knows my deck now, he knows my strategy, he knows what to expect. But likewise, I know what he's playing. Unless he did what the Mage did and changed decks. There's always that possibility. So for all we know, Kobold Librarian coming down here could signify a Zoolock instead of a Mecha'thun lock, if he's changed things up, or even a Cube lock for that matter. So once again, we are searching for Hemet. Because that seems to be the card that's going to give us a massive advantage against him in terms of draw. Question is, what do you do in this kind of a matchup if you don't draw Hemet? Because his card draw strategy is far more aggressive than mine. He has Acolyte of Pain, and he's not afraid to Mortal Coil his own Acolyte. He's not afraid to play Ankle Biter on his own Acolyte. Well, this is a really nice setup here for Void Lord. But again, not that it's going to make the world of difference against him in this game. It's all about the card draw. The Void Caller Void Lord combination with Sack Pact is just phenomenal against aggro. And speaking of phenomenal, there's Hemet. I think we win this game again. Yeah, against aggro, getting a Void Lord down on turn 4 can just cause concedes. Now this is my 4th game with this deck. And so I've not faced, you know, an odd Paladin yet. Or an odd Rogue, or whatever other decks are being run at the moment at rank 1 for aggro.
Winter is here.
So I can't tell you how effective this deck is against aggro. Because I've not faced any aggro as such. Unless you count that Mage with Giants as an aggro deck. I mean, 4 Giants smashing your face is pretty aggressive, right? Hemet has been played. He's played a Galvanizer, though. So I'm assuming he's got a discount on Mecha'thun in his hand. So Galvanizer, I guess, can act as an alternative to the Emperor. Second discount on his Mecha'thun, so it now costs 8. That means he can play Mecha'thun, Blood Bloom, and then Cataclysm. Okay, so I'm going to assume that he is going to be ready to pull off his combo once he draws through his deck.
Is here.
But he's still got a ways to go before he can do that. So I'm just going to wait this out now. I'm going to wait this out. You just need to get Mecha'thun, and then we can go off with the Emperor.
Speak to me.
But once again, he's going to try and draw as many cards as possible. And probably come close to matching me in terms of the size of what's left in his deck. Still no Mecha'thun for me. And I'm really thinking about this turn, or all of these turns actually, because I'm 1 game off from getting Legend, and I don't want to mess this up. The pressure is quite significant, and that's when you start to misplay. Like, was that play even correct, for example? Should I have done something else there?
Unity, precision, perfection.
Just need to get my Mecha'thun. So, that's not Mecha'thun. So I think I need to be a bit more aggressive here with my card. I need to tap for sure. So I need to find that Mecha'thun. 2 cards left. Is it going to be the last card in my deck? That would be hilarious. Wow, look at him go. Really try to race here. That is not Mecha'thun. Wow, just wow. But I'm gonna tap for it anyway. I don't care. I want the discount now, so I can win next turn. So now on his turn, he has to essentially deplete the remainder of his deck and then pull off his combo. But I don't think Solarium is going to help him here, because he's still got 1 card left in his deck. oh my goodness, was that close. Had Solarium drawn the remainder of his deck, I assume he would have won the game by pulling off his combo. There we go. That's Legend. Wasn't expecting to get it this season. The ladder had been especially difficult. But I'm happy with that rank. I absolutely am happy with that rank. Okay, so... Oh, Mecha'thun Warlock. Since I started posting screenshots of me playing this deck on Twitter, I've had people asking me for the deck codes. So if you're looking for a deck that can win relatively convincingly, as you saw against what I thought was a Reno Mage, a Quest Mage, and then of course against this other Mecha'thun Warlock, this is a good deck to play, certainly. Hemet is the absolute MVP. And I got quite lucky. I was able to draw Hemet in very good time and thin out my deck quite quickly. Now, what about facing hyper-aggressive decks like Odd Paladin, for example, or Zulok? I didn't face any of those decks on this 4-game climb to Legend. But with Defile, Mortal Coil, Godfrey, Sacrificial Pact comboed with Void Caller into Void Lord, I think you stand a reasonable chance. This deck is missing Hellfire, so it's worth noting that. That's one board clear we do not have. But if you can get the balance right between tapping and playing board clears, I think you stand a reasonable chance against other aggro decks. So all in all, I'd say this is a pretty decent all-round deck to play. And if you have the cards, maybe you want to give it a try and see how you go. I am particularly fascinated by the version of the deck on the right-hand side that runs Doom. I've never played Doom in a Mecha'thun Warlock before, so I am morbidly curious as to how disastrously wrong things can go if you end up dooming a massive board and end up drawing, like, 14 cards and then milling yourself. Actually, if you've got all of your combo pieces in hand, and then you play Doom and you mill yourself, that could actually be a good thing because you're thinning out your deck. So maybe that is a viable strategy. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My next video is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to feature the longest game of Hearthstone that I have ever played. It went for, I think, over 1 hour, and it was absolutely exhausting but fascinating at the same time. So that is something to look forward to over the next couple of days. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.